I do.
You may put your hand down.
Thank you.
Ms. Espinosa, you're here on two cases, 487210 and 548370. 487210 is theft, 200 to less than 500, and 548370 is also theft of service from 100 to less than 750. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
And it's my understanding that you wish to enter pleas on both of these cases. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Before we do the step-by-step, I need to discuss with you certain constitutional rights and protections that are afforded to you in this state and in our nation. First of all, you always have a right to remain silent. That means you do not have to make a statement, and you don't have to answer any questions on either one of these two cases. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You don't. You also have a right to a jury trial. That means that in each case, individually, you'd have the right to have you and your attorney and the state select from the community 6 people to hear the evidence in this case and decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. You understand you have that right.
Yes, sir.
In each case, you have the right to confront witnesses or to question them. Question, cross-examine, or challenge every witness that would testify in your case. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You also have a right to what's called a right of appeal. In each individual case, you have the right, you or your attorney or the two of you together could demand that a higher court review the official record and the testimony in this case, the evidence involved, and the results. That is called the right of appeal. Do you understand you have a right of appeal?
Yes, sir.
You, in each case, you and the state both have the right to have this proceeding in the open public courtroom. Because of the COVID pandemic, we're not doing open courtroom hearings at this time. So we're doing them on video conference.
I can't hear you, sir.
Let us do this on
I'm sorry.
video conference.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand that you have that right to have this in the open public courtroom?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, that applies to both cases individually. All those rights that we just talked about, you're giving those rights up by entering pleas in each of these cases. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you're willing voluntarily and freely to give up those rights in each case?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the documents I'll be showing you, all of them with one exception, start off with what I call identifying information at the top. This one is cause number 487210. The other one is 548370. They say the state of Texas versus Stephanie Espinosa in County Court Law number 5, Bexar County, Texas. Now, the title of this particular document is State's Consent to Video Conference. It is in bold print, all capitals. Do you see that right there at the top there?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. Now, this one is the state's consent, and it is signed by the Assistant District Attorney, Mr. Andrew Harris Aileman. They are giving up their right to have this in the public courtroom. The second document I'm showing you, again, this is 487210. You also have 548370. The same identifying information. You'll have this same information. It's called a discovery acknowledgement. There'll be the other document is 548370. It'll have the same law applied. This is Article 39.14 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. This tells you that the law that the state of Texas requires the prosecutors to share with you all the information, receipts, documents, videos, anything and everything they have by way of evidence. They have to share it with you. And to the extent that you're able to make an informed and intelligent decision on this matter. Do you understand that this document is signed by your attorney and Mr. Edelman on 487-210 and 548-370? They're
Yes.
both signing saying this law has been obeyed, okay?
Yes, sir.
The document now shown is called Defendant's Consent to Video Conference. That's yours. We talked about it a little while ago, and
Yes,
now
sir.
this is the one in writing that you and your attorney have signed. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. All of these documents that we're looking at, you've reviewed them with Ms. Valenzuela?
Yes.
All right. This one in front of you now, again, the identifying information, and this one is titled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. It'll be the same one for case number 548370, applicable to that case. This one is for the, this starts off with 3 individual sentences. It tells me, first of all, you don't need me to read to you word for word the charge that you have. The second sentence says that you know that you're charged with theft, $20 to $500 by check. And then the third sentence says that you hereby enter a plea of nolo contendere to the charge of theft, $20 to $500 by check.
Yes.
The rest of this document will be divided into 15 numbered divisions or sections. This particular one, number 1, tells you that what you're charged with is a Class B misdemeanor. And the range of punishment for that is a fine from $0 to $2,000 and jail from 0 days to 180 days jail. Did you see and understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, number 2, tell me what it says, number 2.
I understand I have a right to a jury trial, a right to cross-examination of witnesses, and a right to remain silent. I freely and voluntarily waive, which means to give up those rights.
Is that true?
Yes, sir.
You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Number 3, have you ever had mental health problems?
I just have anxiety. That's all.
Have you ever been treated for it?
A long time ago when I was a teenager.
Okay. Are you taking any kind of medications right now?
Not for mental health.
Okay. All right. Now, where were you born, ma'am?
I was born in Texas.
Okay. So I will be noting in your documents that you are a U.S. citizen on both cases.
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you review all of this with Ms. Valenzuela?
Yes.
Did you see that by signing it, you gave up different rights? It informs you about different things. For example, the plea bargain that you're making, I am required to either say yes or no on it. It's totally up to me.
Yes, sir. I understand that.
Okay. And number 15, you could request that I order what's called a risk and needs assessment. By signing your document, this document, you've said that you don't need me to do that you want me to proceed and finish this case. Is that true?
That is true.
And it applies to both cases. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the document shown now, this is on 487-210. You also have 448-370.
Right.
This has a stack of little boxes vertically. This is my certification to you. The 5th box says this is a plea bargain case and the defendant has no right of appeal. That's applicable on both cases. You understand that?
Yes, sir. I understand.
And you did sign that.
Yes, sir. I did.
Okay. Now, on this particular case, is this going to apply to both of them, Mr. Edelman? Application for deferred?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, let's talk about that briefly. This is 487-210, and you're also applying for a deferred adjudication on both of them, 548-370. These 2 cases, you have been blessed that Ms. Valenzuela has been able to get an agreement for deferred adjudication. If you live up to 100%, every bit of the conditions of supervision, then this case winds up being dismissed and you're not convicted of it. Now, that's very important.
Yes,
You
sir.
don't want convictions of theft on your record. If you have them already, well, I'm sorry about that. But if you live up to your conditions and work hard to do it, ma'am,
Yes,
then
sir.
the cases get dismissed. Each one has to be complied with individually. And if you do that, dismissed and no conviction under Texas law. Is that
Okay.
understood?
Yes, sir, it is.
Now let's talk about what happens if you mess up, if uh, you fail to do it or you refuse to live up to all the conditions. Then what happens? The state asks me to give you official notice on one or both, either one. We'll have a hearing, and if the evidence is supportive of it, calls for it, then you will have a final conviction on whichever case is applicable, one or both. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, furthermore, you'll also be looking at the full range of punishment, from $0 to $2,000 fine, and jail from 0 days to 180 days in jail. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Proceed. All right. This is what's called a personal data sheet. This will apply to both cases. It says here that you're disabled.
Yes, sir.
Do you receive assistance from the government or anybody?
Yes, sir.
How much are you getting per month?
I'm getting $12.50.
$12.50?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have, well, let's see. Did you put only true and accurate information in this personal data sheet?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have 0 dependents. You are married.
Yes, sir.
Does your husband work outside the house?
He's disabled. He's been in and out of the hospital recently.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. All right. What year is your 2002? I see it. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
No
Let's
problem.
see. Let's proceed. The plea agreement on 487210. All right, this is the plea agreement. This is a slightly different identifying information. It does have your name and the case number. It just doesn't have County Court 5. You'll notice that I've checked off or had checked off the first 2 boxes. The first one talking about the right to remain silent and how important it is. Again, it repeats it. And then the second box says that you are a U.S. citizen, which I made that finding. Then there's 5 boxes. Both cases are going to have the exact same check marks and stuff. Under defendant's acknowledgments, there's 5 boxes that are checked off. I presume you and well, I shouldn't presume. Did you and your attorney review that document and do the check marks on it?
Yes, sir.
All right. These talk about the different rights that we've already discussed and gone through, but they're repeated again. You are charged with theft in 487210, 200 to 500 to less than 500, and in 548370 you're charged with theft of service, 100 to less than $750. To both charges, ma'am, how do you plead?
No contest.
All right. A no contest plea in this court is considered a guilty plea. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Based on that plea and the evidence, I could find you guilty. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. In case 487210, I find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, but I do not find you guilty at this time. I am honoring the agreement to grant you 6 months deferred adjudication. You will pay restitution to HEB in the amount of $75.34. The supervisory fee will be a minimum $25 per month.
Yes, sir.
All right. In case 548-370, would you scroll all the way down to the plea agreement, Patty?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We're not on YouTube? Or we are? Yeah. All right, this is the plea agreement on 548-370. It repeats, got the different check marks that were in the other case. They're the same basic information and acknowledgements by you. In this particular case, this is a theft of service. It's a little bit different than the other, but it's still a misdemeanor. And to that charge, how do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
Again, a no contest plea. I remind you, in this case, in this court, is considered a guilty plea, and it can be sufficient for me to convict you. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. I order you to go into the Bexar County Courts number 5 within 1 week, 7 days, to go in there and have your thumbprint placed on the different documents, okay?
Yes, sir.
In 487-210 and 548-370. It is important that you do that. Again, I find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, but I do not find you guilty. I am honoring the agreement to grant you 6 months deferred adjudication. I repeat, deferred adjudication is very beneficial to you. If you complete 100% of it, I will allow you, I will have the case dismissed, or the court will have the case dismissed, and you're not convicted. You are to pay restitution to the city of San Antonio in the amount of $350. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
I don't, not at this time.
The supervisory fee will be $25 a month in this case to run concurrent. The two of them, 487-210, 548-370, they will be concurrent. So you only pay one payment of $25 for both cases. All right.
Okay.
Questions, Ms. Valenzuela?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
Questions, Mr. Edelman?
Nothing from the state, sir.
Very good. Ms. Espinosa, I wish
Yes,
you
sir.
well. You stay safe, you and your family and your loved ones, okay?
Thank you, sir. You